If you're watching this video, you might be an obsessor, you might be someone who can fall prey to intrusive thoughts. I myself am one of those people. And I've learned a lot about what works for me and what can be helpful to calm my nervous system, to slow down my thoughts, and to ease some discomfort when I start to worry and needlessly obsess, usually about things I honestly can't control. My name is Noah. I'm really glad you guys are here. If you're going through it right now, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you know that it will get better. And if you don't believe that it'll get better, I hope you believe that I do. And so I can kind of believe for the both of us for right now. One of the first things I do when I latch onto a thought that has me question my identity or my sense of self is I ask myself, is it true? And this is one of those things that the answer has to be non-negotiable. Black or white, no gray area, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Can I prove that it's true? And that can usually temper down some of the worry, that can usually put an ease to some of the despair. When you start thinking about something that bothers you and it creates a cycle of feelings that are uncomfortable, it is really useful for me to imagine talking to myself like a very innocent, well-meaning, and beautiful child. And so even on my phone, I keep a picture of me at all times in my background. And that picture reminds me to not condemn myself, to not chastise myself, to not to think poorly or treat myself with any kind of disrespect, much like I wouldn't do to a child. Soothe yourself and practice talking to yourself much like you would if that child came up to you and was scared or was potentially being irrational or was acting insecure or thought that they weren't good enough or there was something wrong with them. How would you talk to that kid? You are that kid. I am that kid. How would I talk to myself? I've worked with a handful of therapists that have really impressed upon me that little versions of us still live within us, especially considering memory does not know time and space. So when I get into a thought spiral that makes me question myself, I say all the things I would want the perfect parental figure to say to me. Everything's gonna be okay. Stay calm. You can get through this. There's nothing wrong or bad about you. I love you. Take it easy. Ask yourself if it's true. I'm gonna take care of you. We'll get through this. The next thing to do sounds pretty obvious, but it's to change your environment. If you're stuck up here, get unstuck physically, wherever you are. If that means going for a walk, if that means sitting outside, if that means going to the gym, if that means going for a drive, anything that can help you change your environment, it will help change your thoughts. And last but not least is to talk to someone, to run by these thoughts and reality test them with someone with whom I trust. And run it by multiple people if you need to. It allows you to process your thoughts out loud to see if there might be some holes in your game. Get used to talking to yourself like that and start implementing the other practical things that work for me that I mentioned in this video, and you will be well on your way to, at the very least, calmly sitting out and waiting for these intrusive thoughts to pass. They might not always pass really quickly, but they will pass. Don't take your thoughts personal. Often they have nothing to do with you, and you don't need to give them any breath, any space beyond that original analysis. I hope this helped. These are just a few things I do on the regular. They make a big difference for me. In the comments below though, please share the things that work for you when your brain starts spinning, when you start cycling through intrusive thoughts that you'd rather not think about. What helps you get out of it? And if you heard something or saw something here that made you feel good and made you want to come back, I'm glad. And if you think this video might help another person who is not doing so well between the ears, consider sharing it. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.